What up? What up? What up, ghouls and ghosts? It's your ravaging rooster. We're here at the Stanley Hotel, the spookiest hotel in the world, and I'm here to give you a little power. But before we get into this, make sure you pop on that little like button and subscribe if you want to watch me suck my own dick. This feels way too staged. Does it feel staged? What are you doing? Let's go.
I'm sorry if I got that bad. I'm sorry I can't help you. Somebody should have had your back. I tried, but I don't think so. Maybe it was me who was fucking up.
I don't know what this is, but it's kind of hot.
Oh my god, ladies and gentlemen, I am back from the fucking dead. And I know. Last time that I posted a video, I kind of gave you this, I would say, like, I don't know, I fed you a ruse. I said, hey guys, I'm going to be here forever. I'm not going to stop doing this sort of thing. So please just bear with me a little longer. This feels so good. I'm back, baby. I'm back. Just to rip that promise out of your hands. Trust me, I know what abandonment feels like. I understand what you probably went through. Just give me another chance, and I'll show you that I'm a snarky drunk uncle ready to give you a beating. I'm not liking this camera angle. It's a little too low because I feel like okay, here's a little tip for you guys, for you little cameramans. If you feel like you have to hunker down, and me, I'm a big 6 foot tall boy. If you feel like you have to hunker down to get in the shot, you didn't set the shot right. That's the secret. So, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hold on, what did I actually have written down? Ghosts. Did I think that I was writing like fucking? This isn't edgy Josh time. This isn't, oh, I'm so sad about my place in your universe. This is supposed to be snarky drunk. I don't know if I was, look, I'm just gonna paraphrase. Ghosts. As far as ghosts are concerned, I've always wanted to believe in ghosts. Every part of me wants to believe that, that this isn't it. Now, don't mistake that as me praying to a big bearded man in the sky for a brand new bike. But I want the tireless nights of me ripping my hair out. Ooh. But I'd like to believe that I wasn't just blessed with this disgusting self-awareness that leaves me tearing my hair out in the middle of the night, questioning my entire existence. But boy, have people banked on the idea that people are just floating around in the afterlife, wasting their fucking time to just play little pranks on you.
Oh, spooky ghost phone. Hello? No, this fucking telemarketer still called ghosts.
Now, all those ghost hunter shows and all that bullshit, oh my god, is that a guilty pleasure of mine. And I'll suspend my disbelief any night of the week. We were in this abandoned warehouse, and we're looking for ghosts. So maybe if we're just quiet, maybe we'll hear something. What was that?
You miserable, presumptuous, no talent! You're no artist. You disgrace. You're everything that's gone wrong in this world.
You don't gotta be so honest.
Self-consumed, no talent, mediocre.
You just lie to
shit.
me,
Nothing. You nothing.
Man, fuck this.
You are nothing. And you will never be anything.
But there's just something about people making an assload of cash off of just blatant lies that really ticks me the fuck off. Ugh. And nothing stands closer than the Disneyland of haunted hotels.
One time.
Now, in 1907, construction began on this infamous hotel under the leadership, I guess you would say, under the leadership of Freeland Oscar Stanley, who had come to Estes Park, Colorado, it was just a mountain town back in the day. It's not nearly the tourist trap that it was now, or is now. It wasn't the tourist trap that it is now. There you go. There's all the proper tenses. But he's a big city boy. He's a bird. I come from the big city, and he had amassed his fortune through a number of things. One of them being the Stanley steamer. He made an automobile that ran off of really hot water. As impressive as that is, it's a mighty antiquated piece of technology. Now the city life had struck this poor boy with a mighty fine case of the consumption. And the doctor had suggested to him to get out into the free open air because he had seen that had helped a lot of people out. But consider that boy cured, and he was able to finish construction on the Stanley Hotel in 1909 and opened his doors. Now I could get into this long, boring history of the changing of ownerships and all this just dumb shit, but I know what you're here for. It's the ghosts! Now, there's no doubt about it that the Stanley Hotel is an old fucking building. And with any building that's been around for over a century, it's gonna have its fair share of stories. But that's all that they are. Stories. A lot of these hauntings examples that I found are pulled from Terrence Zapke's A Ghost Hunter's Guide to the Most Haunted Inns and Hotels in America or whatever. Other books in her repertoire include other like just ghostly haunted location books. She's got a series of how to travel on a budget books and motivational get off your ass and write a book books. So you know that she's more than qualified to relay to you this bullshit. I'm just gonna quick draw all these ghosts, and I could be fucked in memorizing all these names in this particular order, so it's just fucking whatever. But Lord Dunraven, F.O. Stanley, Florence Stanley, Cowboy Ghost, Homeless Lady Ghost, Kate, and Elizabeth Wilson. Now, Lord Dunraven was the former landowner. Apparently, he owned the land, and he was the one that F.O. Stanley, Freeland Oscar, as we know, as us researchers, because we're researchers, we got our research goggles on, and they say that he haunts the room 401. And sometimes you'll just see a man walk into a closet, and it's so weird, and you'll smell the smell of tobacco smoke, even though you're not allowed to smoke indoors. And I'm sure that could just be summed up to just a guy being a fucking weirdo and a husband trying to hide smoking from his pregnant wife. F.O. Stanley being the builder of the hotel, he haunts the billiards room and the bar because those are his favorite places to go, and you'll see him or whatever. It's just always dumb, just haunted, just haunted stuff. Oh, there's a little bit of dust on my lens and I made a glare through the lens, and oh look, now there's a ghost here. Flora Stanley, she haunts the ballroom and the music room, and sometimes you'll hear piano music when nobody's there to play the piano. And the cowboy ghost, he haunts room 428, but he is known to sexually harass women and give them little kisses before vanishing into thin air.
Oh, hi, Mr. Cowboy.
Howdy.
What are you doing over there being a fucking cowboy at the same time? Was your mom raped by a cow? Is that why you're a cowboy? Is that your genitalia?
I'm gonna advance my
It's
penile
small.
in you now.
Oh, shit, motherfucking shit.
Howdy.
The homeless lady ghost, she haunts the concert hall, which isn't necessarily attached to the hotel. It's just kind of like a little bit down. But she is known to just scream in the backstage of the concert hall. The concert hall that you're conveniently not allowed to go inside. Katie apparently was a girl back in the olden days who just needed a place to stay because she was cold. She tried to hide out in the hotel and she just got kicked out. Apparently she died. But you'll see her just hiding in the basement. Ooh, hiding in the basement. Look at me. And finally, Elizabeth Wilson, which she was a maid back in like 1917 or whatever. There was some explosion and she survived it. Just whatever dumb bullshit. But apparently she likes to tuck in the guests and tidy up things when nobody's looking and tidy guests into bed so that they can't get out. All this stuff just sounds fucking dumb. Now, the big cataclysmic event that allowed all of this shit to be so marketable and so ready to be slurped up by the moronic public, back in 1974, Stephen motherfucking King, the greatest horror writer of the baby boomer generation. He was living in Boulder, and he decided to go up to Estes Park to stay. It's about an hour away. He decided to stay there for one night. The Wikipedia page says he stayed on October 30th, which is like, ooh, spooky, because it's Halloween Eve. But the guy will tell you that it was September 30th. I can't tell you which one it was because I am not a good researcher. But he stayed at that hotel for one night. Well, let me have this guy tell you the story.
Another story about room 217 goes back to 1974.
You see this, guys? I think this is a ghost. I think that there's somebody standing with a stick trying to make us think that this is a ghost.
When Stephen King and his wife spent the night in this room. You see, September 30th, 1974 was going to be the last day we were going to be open for the entire year. And Stephen King and his wife, the only two people to stay in this hotel for the night. So we put them in the presidential suite, room 217, this room. Now, and they were alone in this entire hotel. After a night at the restaurant and at the bar, Stephen King was a little nervous about this hotel, so he actually came back here to go to sleep. And in his dream that night...
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if some hotel manager was standing behind the camera with a little book saying, make sure you tell them that they stayed here. Like, you need to emphasize that they stayed here. How are we going to convince morons that Stephen King's ass sweat has soaked into this mattress? You need to let them know that he was here.
On this bed, Stephen King said he had one of the worst nightmares of his life. That a fire hose from the hotel was chasing his son through the hallway till it started constricting his son and trying to kill him. So King woke up terrified, sweating, and he went out to the balcony in front of this room to have a cigarette. And by the time he was done with that cigarette, Stephen King said he came up with the outline for the novel The Shining in his head. And so this room not only has a great paranormal history, it also has a fantastic literary history as well. And we still offer it to guests available every day at the Stanley Hotel.
So disregard the complete script that this man is force-feeding you. The Stanley Hotel has built a marketing empire on the fact that Stephen King stayed in their hotel once. Sure, maybe people have taken a weird picture, or they've seen something weird, or they've heard something weird, but it's an old fucking building. And the opening to The Shining, which granted it had its artistic liberties, it makes you feel like it's this just secluded, you know, just up in the mountains all by itself, nothing around for, you know, hundreds of miles, all alone. If the snow comes, you're fucked and you're gonna die. There's a fucking Safeway grocery store walking distance from the fucking front door of this goddamn place. They charge you $10 just to get into the property of this building, and if you really want to take a look at the hotel, oh, you gotta be a paying guest. They don't just let tourists walk around the hotel. You gotta be a guest staying at the hotel. But you know me, I'm a scumbag, and I'll do whatever the fuck I want. And the billiards room, and the music room, and all of these places where they have the examples of the actual hauntings take place, you're not allowed to get into unless you hire to have an event there. So you really gotta shell out, you know, a couple $100 if you want to see the good shit. They offer spooky ghost tours that you can take in the middle of the night where you actually get to look in the basement for a whopping $30. They even have a resident psychic that can validate all of these horseshit claims. Oh, how wonderful. A fucking con artist stays inside of your property full time. Don't forget to check out the gift shop after your stay and get your Red Rum branded coffee mug for fucking $25. It's like the propensity of the fucking Chewbacca mom. Like, you get an inch, somebody hands you an inch, and you bleed that motherfucker dry until there's nothing left. Baby, pulling out every little cent and shoving it in your fatty pocket. And I bet as an employee of this hotel, they hand each one of them, they mass copy these handbooks that they have to memorize of all the ghosts. So if some moron comes up to them and asks them questions about God knows what, they have to recite it. Well, Elizabeth Wilson, well, she's known to tuck you into bed if you were staying in room 217. Just all this, just dumb bullshit. And they have to deal with morons all fucking day. Me included. Hotels tend to have this, like, I don't know. Hotels are just grim places to stay. They're just weird, like, halfway points where, I mean, some people are staying there long term, but it's just, it's designed to be this weird, just home away from home. But just weird shit happens at hotels all the time. I'm sure weird shit has happened at the Stanley Hotel, but there's actual fucking scary stories that could be built as opposed to just a ghost that tucks you in. For example, the death of Eliza Lamb, which haunts me to my core, today, right now. I'm scared. She was, she's some student, blah, 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 but she was staying at the Cecil Hotel, which has thus rebranded themselves as the Stay on Main, because I'm sure they got so much media attention for this bullshit that they had to try and get away from the bad stuff. They had to rebrand themselves so people were like, oh, that's where that girl was found dead. She was just staying at the hotel, and the last known footage that they have of her was acting very strangely, doing a lot of these weird hand motions, going in and out and hitting buttons on the elevator, just acting very weird. This is the last known footage of her being alive, and watching it, I remember when I was researching this bullshit a couple months ago, and I was like looking at it and kind of building the episode in my head for this. I was haunted to my core, probably because it was like 2 o'clock in the morning and I was alone in my car trying to sleep. All the lights were off, it's dark, we're in the middle of the mountains, and I'm just sitting there watching this shit, and I'm fucking horrified. But that video happens, and it's very suspect, and she disappears, for a good 5 days, and they don't find her until the people who were staying at the hotel, they were complaining about the water. Like, the water pressure was shitty, the water was just tasting weird. So the staff went up and they looked inside the water tank, and they probably just got hit with this this nasty smell just overtook their entire body, like Satan just farted in their face. That's where her body was, and it was all bloated and starting to decompose. What they summed it up was that she was just, doing weird shit and she fell in. But what they don't explain was that the door to the roof was locked. The thing was locked behind her. So it was more as if somebody shoved her in and then closed her in there, and she died of drowning, with probably from just out of pure exhaustion. But even worse than that was all of the people that were staying in that hotel for 5 fucking days drank decomposing human flesh. Some people said that it even tasted sweet. This is a true horror story that would make me not want to go to a hotel. This is true horror. Not some bullshit about some cowboy ghost that's gonna sexually molest your wife. That's stupid. This is scary. This is dumb. I want to believe. More than anything, I want to believe. But feeding into some corporate cash cow just isn't the answer. I've never, ever, ever had a paranormal experience in my entire life. And I've prayed for one, and I've tried to keep my ears and my eyes open. Maybe I'm just so shut off because of my cynicism that the ghosts just look at me, just scoff like, oh, we're not gonna show ourselves. We're not gonna do that, guy. We could shake our dick in front of his face, and he wouldn't even bat an eyelash because he'd think that it was just the wind. Ooh, dick wind all up in my face. Only a moron blindly follows, and only a moron blindly refuses. Be skeptical, but not so cynical that you write everything off as passing wind. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this little boy is signing out. Initiate the D drive. If we're gonna get where we need to be, we need to initiate the D drive, boys. Oh shit, where am I? What is this world? Alright, well, I guess I'm here to answer some questions, and I might as well do said thing. Now, Yahoo user FeedMyCat247 has a question, and I think I might as well relay this information to you, because it may help in your current predicament. Now he says, Dear Dr. jbostTV, how do I get over a broken heart? Oh, thanks for your help. Oh, that's a tough one. Well, if I were to give you the #1 self-help in getting over some sort of lovely female that has decided to stop giving you the attention that you so much enjoyed, that's a hard one. Well, first off, stop being a fucking pussy. If the bitch doesn't want you, then shit in her shoes and leave. Vamoose. Get on with your life. Don't beg motherfuckers to stay. If they can't see that you are one rad-ass funny motherfucker, then find people that will. And you know that crushing wave of sadness that sticks its claws into your heart and doesn't seem to let go, that shit's gonna stay with you forever. You ain't getting over the one that got away because you won't let that happen. How does that line go? I don't fall out of love with people, I just forget. Oh, your life is miserable and you have to face it every day because you're stupid.
Maybe in another life, everything worked out alright. The things that make us harder passed us by. But there's no bedroom to wake up from. No, I got it bad when it's the morning into all that's on my mind. If I don't have you, at least I still have me. And if I don't have you, at least I still have me.
There's a fucking bee right there. You fucking see it? Look at it. Oh. He's a little disabled.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh shit.
No, he's not.
Alright, come back up here.
Sad bee.
Sad bee. Oh, yes. That's a success story for the ages.